management of Nigerian Ports Authority has stepped up its transformation drive after a successful introduction of its e-payment platform for port transactions. The NPA management has followed up with the launch of its ICT help desk and computer galleries, which promise to improve productivity at all NPA formations nationwide. Indeed, this is indicative of an organization committed to the best global practices in practical terms. Welcome to The Axis, where we examine the port as the axis of the Nigerian economy. I am Tola Alade. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us on the program. The Managing Director of NPA, Malam Habib Abdullahi, recently commissioned the NPA ICT Help Desk and Computer Galleries. The commissioning ceremony took place at its corporate headquarters here in Lagos. Upon assumption of office about a year and a half ago, the executive management of Nigerian Ports Authority positioned itself to respond to the needs of the stakeholders by making a commitment to transforming and restructuring the maritime sector in line with international best practices. It had as its objectives the improvement of overall efficiency of port operations, blocking revenue leakages, and providing comfort for the shipping community. The management's vision for overall transformation was three-pronged: identification of revenue leakages and seeking ways to block them, investment in massive infrastructural renewal, and development projects geared towards deepening the channels to attract larger vessels, and automating and integrating the various ports nationwide using information technology platform. As part of the implementation of this strategic initiative, the Managing Director of NPA, Malam Habib Abdullahi, formally commissioned NPA's Information, Communication and Technology Help Desk and Computer Galleries at the corporate headquarters of the authority in Lagos. He was accompanied by top management officials. The NPA ICT Help Desk and Computer Galleries have been established in all the 6 port locations, the 2 zones, Western Zone and Eastern Zone, and the Abuja Liaison Office. The Executive Director, Finance and Administration, NPA, Mr. Olumide Odunton, enlightened everyone present on the innovation.
We are deploying technology across our businesses. Therefore, you would need a project center or a clearinghouse, which we have decided to call ICT Help Desk, where information can be disseminated to our members of staff on the various projects that we are doing in the organization. And this can be done on a one-on-one basis. So the help desk will call our staff on a one-on-one basis and brief them of all these initiatives so that staff is also carried along in this. And also, the staff can also call to ICT Help Desk if they require support from time to time.
This initiative is expected to fundamentally improve the ICT literacy and awareness level of staff within the organization. It will also bolster application of computer in the work processes and further deepen the ICT culture.
The whole idea was that we'll key into the transformation drive of the present management, and we know that ICT is at the heart of it. So this is a way of bringing our service closer to our colleagues in NPA, so that wherever they have issues, they can call and get back to us and say, okay, this is the problem we are having in our mailing system or computers or printers or whatever it is. So the idea is that they call this helpdesk center as the first point of contact. They will not reach us. So with this, it removes the excuse of we don't have IT resources or anything like that. Nobody can help us when we have a problem.
The head, ICT Department, NPA, Mr. Anthony Edosonwe, guided the Managing Director on a demonstration of how the help desk operators do their day-to-day work. He also briefed the Managing Director on the present scope of their operations.
It's not yet open to outsiders. It is just strictly what has been done, to enable NPA employees to be able to reach us if they need our assistance in anything related to ICT for now. But really, there's room for it to expand.
The Managing Director commented on the importance of the initiative.
Quite a number of people don't understand exactly what is happening, but then the essence is for us to make sure that we assist our customers, we interface with the community, we interface with our stakeholders, we interface among ourselves in order to solve all the problems that are being encountered in trying to achieve the transformation agenda of Mr. President and mandate that is given to us.
The Executive Director, Finance and Administration, Mr. Olumide Oduto, gave an assurance on availability of power supply for the ICT Help Desk.
We assure you that the computers in the galleries will be working all the time. 24/7 they are there working.
The Managing Director reacted to the inquiry of the press on how much was expended to get the facilities running.
Most of these things are there. They are already in existence. All you need to do is just initiatives that maybe before nobody thought of it. Now we are thinking because of the e-payments. It's that e-payment that prompts us to start thinking about going the way the whole world is going, which we are left behind. You know, and when we visit other ports, we see the way that they are communicating, the way that things are going, and we feel that we have to come back and do something.
The Managing Director also went to the Western Port in Apapa to open the help desk there as part of the program of the official commissioning. The port manager, Lagos Port Complex, Nasir Anas Mohammed, was on hand to receive him. The management of MPA has promised that in the next few months, the help desk will transform to call centers that will serve both local and international clients. The management of the Nigerian Ports Authority is determined to ensure that the e-payment system records maximum success. In line with this resolve, the authority convened a meeting with the representatives of the 25 banks in the country to fine-tune the payment system. This is a direct response to a low adoption level noticed by the organization. The Nigerian Ports Authority recently introduced the e-payment solution known as PayDirect for port transactions in order to enhance payment confirmation, eliminate human interface in the payment procedures, and improve vessel turnaround time, thereby reducing the cost of doing business at our ports. Few weeks after the introduction of the payment system, the management of the Nigerian Ports Authority has discovered that the level of adoption is not as high as expected. In a quick response to this development, the MPA management convened a meeting in Lagos recently with the representatives of the 25 banks in Nigeria to chart the way forward. The Executive Director, Finance and Administration, MPA, Mr. Olumide Oduto, in the company of top MPA officials, chaired the all-important meeting. He set the tone for the meeting by restating what MPA set out to achieve with the e-payment system.
We are on a mission to transform. We are on a mission to improve our revenues. Whichever bank can help us deliver on this mandate, we'll work with.
One of the issues raised by a bank representative was the clarification on whether banks should maintain the existing accounts run by MPA for PayDirect, or that new accounts be opened which will be solely dedicated to the new payment plan.
From this meeting and from the discussion, I think it would be good to start fresh. Just have a new account that will start the collection on PayDirect, so that when reconciliations will be done at a later time, you know that this is the cut-off date where you started the e-payment, and this is the set of accounts you're starting with, so that everything is clear. You don't merge it with the old collections we've been doing in the past.
Executive Director, Finance and Administration, Mr. Olumide Oduto, shed light on the matter.
We do not think it is wise to create a new account for this purpose and to forget about transactions of the past. What we're going to do, we're not changing anything. We're just going to map all the remaining accounts to that. Because it's the same process, the same system. Nothing is changing. What we are not trying to change is the platform to collect revenues. So there's really no need to change how the new account.
The new payment system holds greater value over the old system. This explains why MPA is committed to its success. Mr. Oduto reiterates these benefits.
You will not know the impact the old method has on port operations. But we know. Why would somebody make payment to the bank today? In this day and age, the banks bring the statement to head office the next day. And because head office is not where the business is done, we would before now, some months ago, fed systems to the delivery box. Somebody may have invested in the port for 2 days because payment has been 2 days ago has not been confirmed. The only way to go is to deploy this intercity platform. Payment is made, and within 5 minutes or less, you get your confirmation and you deal. So we thought this out very carefully, and believe me, the impact will be felt by all of us.
During the meeting, some of the banks that were hitherto not cleared to set up accounts with InterSwitch so that they can collect revenue for MPA through PayDirect received express clearance from the authority. Another issue brought to the fore was a situation where some banks were permitted by MPA to collect both dollar and naira revenue for MPA, while other banks were only allowed to collect either dollar or naira. It was against this backdrop that a bank representative implored MPA to provide a level playing field for all financial institutions.
The appeal from here to MPA will be for quite a number of us that don't have the naira accounts already, to make the playing ground level to pick up our letters to open those naira accounts.
This request was met with a positive response from the MPA as the Executive Director, Finance and Administration, Mr. Olumide Odunton, assured all the 25 banks of a level playing field. He confirmed that each will have both dollar and naira accounts for MPA.
We will work with all the banks because if we restrict the banks we work with, inefficiencies or non-performance of those banks will ultimately affect us. So we are opening this up. We don't like any bank, we don't dislike any bank. We are opening things up for all the banks to assist us in delivering of these mandates. So we open accounts with all banks. One account per bank per currency.
After the meeting, the Executive Director spoke to the Axis team and explained in detail a number of matters raised. He emphasized the purpose of the meeting.
It's mainly just a follow-up meeting to the e-payment solution that we deployed about 2 weeks ago. And it's mainly to also call the banks to see the level of adoptions. What we have seen now, up to now, is about 50% level of adoption. I think 52% level of adoption. We expect by now that we should be doing about 80% minimum adoption level. Some banks have dollar accounts, some of them have only naira accounts, whilst they should all have both. I think it was some restriction that was done in the past. So what we're trying to do now as a business is to open up, create a level playing field to all the banks, for all the banks, so that they can aid and assist us in collecting revenues, and by that we hope that, our revenues will continue, will grow significantly and also improve our efficiencies.
On the capacity of InterSwitch to drive PayDirect platform, he further explained.
The solution is a plug and play solution. It's been deployed in other companies, it's been deployed in other parastatals, and it's proven that it is clear that it works. There's no reason the solution would not work in MPA. No reason whatsoever. It is just for us to be able to key into the solution, and also the banks key into the solution.
Undoubtedly, the banks are relevant to the progress of this new payment system. What are the incentives for the banks in this business arrangement?
We think that we have the right solution to aid our business and also to aid the banks. So I think it's a win-win solution for all. The customers want it because it reduces their cost of doing business. The customers also want it, the banks also want it because the banks do not want the customers to go, and we want it because it helps our revenue collection and it helps our efficiencies authority-wide.
He also spoke on how frequent this kind of meeting will be held in this e-payment dispensation.
Anytime you deploy a solution like this, you must have constant follow-up meetings until the solution stabilizes. We are hoping that in the next 1 month and a half, we should be able to you should have been able to stabilize this system, and then we may not need to call the banks again for a meeting. But again, the next time we call this meeting, our port managers will be there, our chief port accountants will be there, and then the banks as well. But in another week, month and a half, maximum 2 months, we should have gotten this system stable, and there will be no need to, continue with these meetings, we'll be facing other projects.
Some of the bank representatives and the InterSwitch official also comment.
All the banks are used to Pay Direct today. All the banks are created on Pay Direct, so it's very easy for us to key into this initiative and begin to collect. And I can assure you that once all the banks start collecting, because it's open to all the banks right now, because some few banks were collecting, we will see improvement in terms of collection. We will see efficiency, and as the ED also said, it will also go a long way to reduce the delays in the ports, which will also impact on the cost of goods and services.
What we're doing here today is important and very key, because it will mean two things. It will reduce the cost of doing business. It will also improve turnaround time. At the end of the day, we're going to add value to the Nigerian economy.
The interaction with the banks is welcome. We've gotten the challenges they are facing, and they have seen that the agency is very, very, very serious about e-payments. And after the meeting, a number of people came to me asking for the way forward. I believe it's a very fruitful meeting, and we should start reaping the benefits of this e-payments.
The meeting with banks underscores the high importance the management of Nigerian Ports Authority attaches to them as vital partners in the overall success of the e-payment system recently introduced by the agency. From all indications, this highly interactive session will impact positively on the electronic payment system. Welcome back. The good working relationship between the Nigerian Ports Authority and the Nigerian Navy received a great boost recently. The MD of NPA, Malam Habib Abdullahi, donated 3 patrol boats to the Nigerian Navy to enhance its operations at safeguarding the nation's waterfronts. The handover ceremony was a colorful one. The cordial working relationship and collaboration between the Nigerian Ports Authority and the Nigerian Navy as it concerns safeguarding the nation's waterfronts received a major boost recently. The Nigerian Navy Western Naval Command played host to the Managing Director of NPA, Malam Habib Abdullahi, who was around on a historic visit. The occasion was a formal presentation of 3 patrol boats to the Nigerian Navy.
We are here to witness the presentation of 3 patrol boats by the Nigerian Port Authority to the Nigerian Navy. This gesture is primarily meant to enhance the capacity of the service in its surveillance of the nation's maritime domain. To us in the NPA, as a responsible corporate citizen, this presentation of patrol boats to the Nigerian Navy is a demonstration of our determination to collaborate and partner with other relevant government agencies to secure the nation's territorial waters, both in and offshore of the environment.
Managing Director spoke in specific terms about the quality of the patrol boats.
We are optimistic that these patrol boats, consisting of 132 meters OCR named NNS Dorina P101 and 2 17 meters Manta boats named NNS Tori and NNS Egedi, with their unique operational features and capacities, will augment the fleets of the Nigerian Navy in the search and rescue operation within the nation's waterfronts.
The Managing Director implored the Nigerian Navy to put the boats to proper and maximum use.
We are certain and confident that the Nigerian Navy will make good use of these patrol boats for the purpose they are meant for.
Documents were signed and exchanged to signify the formal handover of the boats to the Nigerian Navy. The flag officer, Western Naval Command, who represented the Chief of Naval Staff in his acceptance speech, emphasized the timeliness of his gesture.
This donation would not have come at a better time than now, considering the prevailing security challenges in the nation's maritime domain.
He also stressed the overall benefit of the Navy's good relationship with NPA.
The increasing understanding and cooperation between our organizations is indeed essential for improved security in the command's area of responsibility, in particular, and the nation's maritime space in general.
The physical handover of the boats was carried out with full naval ceremony. Everyone present witnessed the handing over of the boat keys by the MD of NPA to the representative of the Navy, after which they took a tour of the interior of one of the boats. Flag officer of the Western Naval Command and the managing director of MPA addressed the press after the ceremony.
This is not the only ones. We have already did some, and this are for 2013 actually. They were ordered in 2013. In 2014 we're also going to order some more. So it's a continuous thing. It just happened that these are the 3 that came in, but they are not only 3.
As you are aware that Nigerian Navy has been clamoring for more platforms, particularly platforms that are required to carry out our anti-piracy, anti-illegal bunkering, anti-illegal fishing, role at sea. And NPA at this time decided to come to our aid to support us with these 3 ships. It's highly commendable. And we want to assure NPA that these 3 boats will be put to good use.
You're still tuned to The Axis. It's nice to have you back. But we remind you that you can watch the program on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/theaxis. We'll now bring you some other stories in the maritime sector. The persistent traffic congestion experienced by port users in Apapa and its environs has become a major concern to the management of the Nigerian Ports Authority. The chaotic traffic situation prompted the port manager of Lagos Port Complex, Apapa, Mr. Nasir Anas Mohammed, to call for a stakeholders meeting in order to deliberate on ideas that would help to solve the problem. It was suggested at the meeting that AP Mola Container Terminal should dedicate a lane for trucks bringing empty containers to the terminal so as to facilitate the movement of the trucks. It was also agreed that AP Mola should provide additional cargo handling equipment and space to accommodate the empty containers, since the bulk of the trucks that create bottlenecks on the access roads patronize the terminal.
Working with the Truck Owners Association is to create some additional dedicated lanes for the empty containers to move in direct into the terminal. Incidentally, over the weekend, because we started experimenting with some container depots, we started working with Lilipong Container, and within one day, on Sunday, we were able to bring in more than 500 empty containers. If we're able to get our empty containers off the road, all the containers within Apapa Port are meant for APMT. Is the only container terminal that we have that generates this much traffic, because like we keep telling them, now let us look for options that we can work with. Let us not wait until when some options are forced onto us.
The second of having an extra lane where you can have empties key up and flatbeds key up on the other side. It's something that can be easily achieved. It's a quick win. Okay. And in line with that, we can now dedicate gates, our in-gates, to fast-tracking the set of empties.
In a move to solve the problem of traffic congestion at the Apapa Port, the president of the Association of Maritime Truck Owners, Amato, said the association has come up with the idea of issuing out port entry permits to truck drivers who have genuine business at the port. He emphasized that the initiative is meant to bring sanity and orderliness to the port.
Having this disc will make clear you that yes, AP Mola is expecting you, and before you can come in, the security department will liaise with them. They will assign so as to collect the list from the APMT on daily basis. We pass the list to the security department. They will now issue the permit for the trucks to enter.
The Amato president explains further how the dedicated lane for trucks carrying empty containers will ease traffic at the Apapa Port.
If a truck with empty container enter from here, they will just divert and follow straight lane into AP Mola gates. An arrangement is on with AP Mola that they will make available at any given time, 24/7, 3 plants that will be attending to only the empty container trucks.
The Lily Pond Container Depot and the AP Mola Container Terminal were chosen as pilot tests to solve the persistent traffic congestion at Apapa, while other terminals are expected to follow in due course. It's now time to bring you the shipping position. 16 vessels arrived at the Lagos Port Complex. 2 arrived with bags of wheat, 3 came with general cargo, 1 arrived with bags of fertilizer, 1 with containers, 1 with bags of sugar, 1 with gas, 6 with various petroleum products, while 3 motor tankers are waiting to berth. A total of 53 vessels are expected at the Lagos Piloted District. 1 to arrive with fish, 13 with bags of rice, 4 with petroleum products, and 1 with bags of malt. 4 are to arrive with general cargo, 20 with containers, 2 with bags of wheat, 2 with fertilizer, 1 with bags of salt, another 1 with bags of sugar, while 2 are to arrive with steel. That's the shipping position for the week. It's a wrap on this episode of the program. You can send your comments, questions and suggestions to the Axis2014@yahoo.com. You can also watch the program on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/theaxis. See you next time for another interesting package. Bye for now.